205 pounds, coming to you from Hartford, Connecticut. Give it up for Bobby Ocean!
Welcome to the VIP portion of Superstars of Wrestling, Luck of the Draw. I am SOW's voice, Travis Boyce, and I'm here with the Greek Gabber, Josh Kotsabasakis. We have a returning superstar to Superstars of Wrestling from Connecticut, Bobby Ocean.
Hartford Zone, Bobby Ocean. Travis, it's like a welcome back for us. This is our first show that we ever did at Superstars of Wrestling. Featured Bobby Ocean. We haven't seen him since. He's been touring all over the United States. Happy to have Bobby Ocean back.
I am excited, and maybe we'll see the one-hitter quitter. It's been a while, but the fans still remember him. They love this guy.
Bobby Ocean was one of, if not the biggest fan favorite.
His opponent.
The last time he was here, perhaps only, as far as fan favorites go, only one to compete with him in popularity was his opponent tonight.
AIWF Canadian Heavyweight Champion, weighing in at 260 pounds, the Muscle Beast from Muscle Beach, Wesley Pipes!
The AIWF champion, Wesley Pipes. Now, whether or not you and I agree on his popularity, one thing that is objective, he is the champion. You see him flanked by our co-commentator, Gary Daniels. Listen, I don't like how it happened, but Wesley Pipes is fresh off a victory over former ECW champion, Rhyno.
Pipes getting some momentum back in front of one of the largest crowds. In fact, the largest crowd to ever see independent wrestling in the Maritimes. That was at the St. John's Sea Dogs Wrestling Night. Wesley Pipes coming off a major win, defeating legend, not just ECW legend, pro wrestling legend Rhyno.
Absolutely, former WWE superstar, TNA Hall of Famer.
The final ECW champion.
Well, there's so much for the popularity of the Muscle Beast. As much as it is impressive he defeated the Man Beast in front of 4,000 people, an assist is warranted to Gary Daniels, who grabbed Rhino's foot while going through the gore. Let's not ignore that.
Gary Daniels looking like the small boss man out here tonight again. He definitely has been an asset, we'll say, to Wesley Pipes.
I can't deny that. And this
Look at the crowd solidly behind Bobby Ocean.
We haven't seen this man since December 2024, and they're gladly cheering him over the AIWF champion, Wesley Pipes.
We haven't seen him since December 2024, Travis. You're right. And, you know, just for people who are wondering, how does a guy come in? His first time here since late 2024. How is he getting a championship match? Well, it's because the man has toured all over the United States, other countries, racking up wins, big matches that the AIWF governing body had no choice but to say, hey, you know what? Superstars of Wrestling wants to bring in Bobby Ocean, then Pipes is going to be putting that championship on the line.
100%. He's a 20-year veteran, and I can think of few people who are more warranted than Bobby Ocean in this match. But as we're seeing here, Pipes already in the driver's seat. Ocean able to evade.
And I got a bone to pick with you on something, Travis.
Okay, let's hear this.
You said that you rolled your eyes at me when I said when Bobby Ocean was last here, his popularity was perhaps only eclipsed by Wesley Pipes. Are you disagreeing with me that in December of 2024, Wesley Pipes was probably the most popular athlete we had at Superstars?
You know what? At that time, this was before his actions in June 2025 at Tides of Gold. I will give you that. Hey, picture perfect drop kick from Bobby Ocean. But back to my point. You know who the big, you were on the booth with me. I was the biggest Wesley Pipes fan before he decided to do those actions.
Beautiful Japanese arm drag by Bobby Ocean.
Bobby Ocean is toured all over. He really is an amalgamation of styles. But Pipes, again, Pipes has been doing this over 20 years himself. So elusive, able to get out of the way.
Pipes going to have the reach advantage in this match. But, you know, in person especially, Ocean is thick. He is a big, muscular dude.
Which is a testament to the strength of Pipes, because he picked up that big, muscular dude like it was nothing. You've been in the ring with Wesley. What's it like when he picks you up?
Oh, you feel like a toddler. It reminds me of when you're a kid and your dad would pick you up and put you on his shoulders when you weighed 30 pounds.
Unbelievable. And you know what? I don't like how this man bends and breaks the rules sometime, but I will say two elements that are underrated of Wesley Pipes that we're seeing already: his technical wrestling ability and his agility. You can speak to that.
Pipes is one of the greatest in-ring technicians in the Maritimes, and you think of him as being a power guy, which he is. You think of him being a all about strength, which he is, but so many people lose sight of the fact that he is an accomplished wrestler.
And he's smart, too. It was a very good move to throw that kitchen sink. And I don't like the cockiness on that lackadaisical pin after the leg drop, but you've talked about it before, mind games.
It's mind games getting in your head. You're wondering, you know, Ocean's wondering now, what is this guy? Does he not sweat me? Is he not worried about what I can do in here? And you start to doubt yourself a little bit.
Right, and Ocean's a student of the game, man. Ocean knows that Pipes is coming off that victory over Rhyno in front of...
Oh, look at Daniels.
And again, speaking of being a student of the game, he knows that Gary Daniels is an X factor. Yeah. He saw what he did to Rhyno, and now he's tasting the medicine himself. And
Gary Daniels, like a true boss, he is our general manager, over there checking, whispering in Bobby Ocean's ear to see if he was okay.
Oh, my goodness. Listen, I have to agree with this fan asking Scott Myers to get a hold of it here. I know he has his hands full, but if I was him, I'd be ejecting Gary Daniels. He should be on the booth with us right here.
Scott Myers. Scotty Bias Myers.
What? Scott Myers is a lot of things, but he's not biased. I'll give you that. Here we go. In position here. Only a 2 count.
A lot of weight. And the other thing, too, that when Pipes hit that leg drop and pinned him with just the leg across Ocean, the other thing that does, it's not going to win him the match, but that big leg of Pipes also cutting off the oxygen to Ocean. And now we see ever since then, Ocean looks like he's trying to get his wind back and can't.
And perfect timing, Coach said. We see after that butterfly suplex, knee on the chest, just pure disrespect to Ocean here.
It's not just disrespect, it's not just the mind games, but again, trying to suck more wind out of Bobby Ocean. That knee across the chest, across, you know, hard to breathe. If you've ever felt someone put pressure on your chest, it's hard to get your wind.
He is doing a lot of stuff that's testing the wind right now. We saw the rapid fire covers, and you know firsthand how big Pipes' biceps are. That is crushing the windpipe of Bobby Ocean right now.
This is a true story. 10 years ago, and by the way, 10 years ago, I don't think Pipes will mind me saying, he was not in the shape that he's in now. 10 years ago, in a training session, a sparring session, I watched Pipes do this very maneuver, a sleeper hold on a training partner. The training partner passed out and cracked his head, and it wasn't pretty. The guy had to go, concussion protocol, all that, but just that's Pipes when he's not trying at 100%.
Well, Bobby Ocean giving 100% on that back suplex. And Kotsab, as you were telling that tale of this man cracking his head, Ocean nearly went out. His hand dropped twice, but he was able to get it up for the 3rd time to stay in this match. But he's not thriving right now. He's surviving.
He's trying to get up, trying to get his win back like we talked about. We call that, you hear it in the business, desperation move. I think that's what it was, that back suplex. But
went for a stinger splash, but Pipes, we talk about his strength, catching Ocean.
He's trying to power him up with that
exploder. And Ocean feeling the effects of that. And again with these lackadaisical covers. He acted frustrated after that. Did he really think he was going to beat him with 1 foot?
I would normally say no, but he did seem frustrated there.
To be fair, he has hit him with everything. He had him nearly out moments ago with that chokehold, and now we see him just bending these arms back, that knee on the spine.
The crowd clearly behind Bobby Ocean. There's a lot of animals in the crowd tonight. There's somebody with bunny ears. I believe I see a legendary blue cat in the second row.
Yeah, we might need to call pest control. You were asking for that at the TD Station show. But speaking of animals and beasts, Bobby Ocean trying to fight out of the Muscle Beast submission hold here, but Pipes so smart to transition, Josh. He knew Ocean was going to break that hold, immediately went to a swinging neck breaker.
Swinging neck breaker, and again into the cover.
But now we talk about the mind games. Pipes is starting to get frustrated, and now Ocean, by simply surviving, is getting in the head of Pipes.
Pipes, I think, and I saw what he did to you, so I'm going to be careful with the words I choose. I got to think Pipes might be having some self-doubts. Yes, he's coming off that big win over Rhyno in front of 4,000 people, but he's now lost 2 back-to-back matches against Durning, both for the championship.
Well, he's not above a shortcut. You saw Ocean start to rally back with those knife-edge chops. Immediately, Pipes pokes him in the eye.
Pipes trying to grab Ocean by the head, and Ocean's eye getting in the way.
Oh, my goodness. I did not realize we were watching an episode of Three Stooges. And speaking of Stooges, Daniels being a stooge for Pipes, getting involved. Myers, you need to turn around.
I'll take your word for it. Our esteemed John Blizzard blocking my view.
Oh, my.
I could not see.
Steam Power Studios, one of the best in the business. I will not blame him for that. And a forearm drops Ocean in the corner. And just when it looked like Ocean had life, oh my God, Josh, did the ring move on that Irish whip?
The whole ring shook. That is the power of Wesley Pipes.
We are 4 days removed from St. Paddy's Day, and that was the most Irish whip I've ever seen. Ocean crumples to the mat in a heap.
Yeah. Bobby Ocean still. I was about to say I stopped talking because I thought that was going to be it, but Bobby Ocean at this point has to be wondering about getting some ice for the drive back to Connecticut.
It'll be a long drive to Hartford, but just by one word, resilience, I'm seeing the doubt creep in here. Pipes is having a hard time putting this man away because 20-year veteran, he's as tough as they come.
Both these guys tough as nails. Pipes right now, again, like I said, you got to wonder if there's some self-doubt creeping in, but at the same time, an angry Pipes is not someone I want to be in the ring with. He's got no personal vendetta against Bobby Ocean, but he's treating him like Ocean owes him money. Like,
you mentioned the animals in the crowd, the rabbit, the cat. Well, we're seeing a bit of some bear action, a bear hug applied to Bobby Ocean, and it looks like he's fading, Josh.
Again, this is the second, and we talked about that leg drop earlier on. That was sort of the launch pad to Bobby Ocean's win being taken out of him. Since then, we've seen knees across the chest, and now this bear hug. The oxygen slowly draining. If this was a video game, Bobby Ocean's stamina meter would be flashing red right now.
But we often talk about intangibles, and right now an intangible that is willing. Bobby Ocean is the crowd, and what an uppercut. Staggers the beast, and a lariat still on his feet though. Pipes is so tough. A second lariat, Pipes still standing. Really hit the hat trick. Ducks under a lariat of Pipes, and a diving European uppercut drops the AIWF champion.
Pipes down first time in a while. That Pipes has been down first time since that back suplex. Look, Ocean, as thick and strong as he is, still could not. Ooh.
We mentioned being able to transition when something doesn't work. We saw that Irish whip. Pipes is a big guy. You're not going to throw him like nothing. And he nearly gets it there with that DDT sliding European uppercut combo.
You can hear how loud these shots are. Every shot, Bobby Ocean, despite not having the wind that he'd like to have right now, every shot Ocean throws at Pipes, you hear a loud smack.
Oh, and that double chop that Pipes loves to utilize. Went for that standard pump kick, and
Leg lariat.
is this it? Oh, I thought Ocean had him with that leg lariat, Josh.
Oh, leg lariat looked like it caught. I don't know if it got Pipes in the throat or in the chin. Either that knocked the wind out of Pipes or it knocked him loopy for a second, but that was a slow kick out by Pipes that time.
Oh, Ocean going a little out of his wheelhouse here, going to the top rope, and Gary Daniels shaking the ropes. Scott Myers not seeing it.
Gary, look at again, he does it.
This is disgraceful. Come on, Scott, you got to. Again, Scott's one of the best in the business, but you can't call what you don't see.
If it's one thing I hate, it's a manager that gets too involved in their
and as
wrestlers' matches.
Well, this might be it, that power slam from Pipes. Oh! Bobby Ocean kicks out.
Hey.
No matter how many times Daniels interferes, no matter how much Pipes hits him, everything, Bobby Ocean is still in this match, Josh.
I got to give it to Bobby Ocean, the tough guy from Hartford, Connecticut. You know, Connecticut, Travis, you hear about how white collar it is, maybe a little bit soft. You can't say that about Bobby Ocean.
This is true.
Connecticut certainly has a bit of a wrestling pedigree, I would say.
True.
And
Pipes looking for Mark of the Beast. Ocean fighting with everything he has. Oh, was perhaps thinking the one-hitter quitter. But Daniels again gets involved and Pipes from behind.
that one's going to knock him loopy. Look, that's dead weight.
It can't end like this.
Ocean's already out from that shot to the back of the head.
Oh, it can't end like this. Ocean just had momentum. Mark of the Beast. And Wesley Pipes is still your AIWF champion, but with help from Gary Daniels.
AIWF Canadian Heavyweight Champion, the Muscle Beast from Muscle Beach, Wesley Pipes.
Wow. Travis, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that the most amount of times a competitor has kicked out of Wesley Pipes pinfalls?
I would say so, but there's that one ace up his, well, two aces up his sleeve. First is Gary Daniels, but that devastating maneuver of the Mark of the Beast, it's usually good night.
We talked about that for, look, Ocean's still out.
What a shame.
I don't even think Ocean, but hey, Ocean kicked out so many times.
And let's be honest, that was basically a 2-on-1 handicap match. Myers had his hands full, but Daniels stuck his damn nose where it didn't belong one too many times and gave Pipes the win. No shame for Bobby Ocean there.
Pipes realistically probably could have pinned Ocean after that forearm to the back of the head, but hey, I mean, Ocean kicked out so many times that Pipes just said enough of this. Hit that exclamation point with the Mark of the Beast, and
fans are on their feet for Bobby Ocean, man. I've heard athletes talk about victory and defeat, and Ocean's experiencing it right now. No shame in that loss, especially with how it went down. I hope he comes back to Superstars of Wrestling.
I'm sure this is not the last time we've seen Bobby Ocean.